Okay, so we are here, we're live, we're ready to go, and well, wet quality to kick it off. Well, this should be fun. Alright, so we're here, we're live, we're ready to go, so we're back at it. Here we are for RPL F1. We are towards the end. We have a couple more races left to go, and then we're all done with the season. At the moment, we have 17 in this field. Should have an 18th. Should be 18. I thought we did have 18, but I guess not. So I guess we're missing someone. But we'll have to take a look at here. Let's see. Just making sure here. Okay, so it's a Mercedes and both. Yeah, so it's a Mercedes and both AlphaTauri's not here. So, anyways, Ironwolf back on deck for F1, and here's what we got. So we have a few drivers on the out and about for the track. Now we do have two people that are going to be retiring in the short qualifying. That is going to be Tadpole and Luke, because as said in the F2 stream, they have quali bands that they got to serve. And the first driver, Leighton, is going to be the benchmark in this intermediate qualifying session. It is a short qualifying session with a F1 sprint, which is only a 9-lap ordeal, and then we have the main race, which is 27. So last week, in China, the race was won by Luke in a strong fashion, and despite getting involved in a lap 1 incident as Leighton goes off into the wall and Dunlop, TB and Cryptic make up the second and third place finishes. In the Drivers' Championship, it is still no change in the top 4 between TB, Reese, Scyther, and Luke. They are still sitting 1, 2, 3, and 4, but Luke is 8 points behind from taking Scyther for third place. Now, we're going to have some drivers joining in. We have Jack joining in. He's joined in the AlphaTauri. We have Blonde, who just showed up. He's going to be in the other AlphaTauri. And Scyther himself will be showing up later. He is going to be in the Mercedes. In the Constructors, by the way, it is down to Red Bull and Ferrari. 84 points between those two teams. So the only two teams yet to have to fight it out for the championship. Now, Jordan actually set the benchmark. 40.1, Flaw responds with a 38.0, and Jacob 38.9. And then TB 38.3, as more are filling in. So we'll have to wait and see on what's going to happen, as more of these drivers are going to be getting some laps in. So we're at the Suzuka circuit. Now this is where things could get pretty interesting. We don't know what will happen. Now, kick things off. So whatever happens in the sprint in this race is going to set the grid for the sprint. For the sprint, it goes first place getting 8 points, all the way down to 8th place getting a single point. And wherever the drivers finish in the sprint is where they'll be for the main race. Now, as it is right now, so like I said, so let's say Flaw, for example, he qualifies second for after qualifying for the sprint, and then finishes 13th. In the main race, he starts 13th. But I guess in the new rules for sprint, I don't know if it'll be in for this game, for the upcoming game of F1 23. Sprint has been changed. Basically, it's just you have regular qualifying, which will set the Grand Prix. Then you have sprint qualifying, which set the grid for the sprint. And wherever you finish in the sprint, it doesn't affect where you start in the main race. But anyways, TB response 37.7. Very good lap by him. As Rev Fire is going to be kicking off his time lap. I guess he had to abort and retry as he's off and away. So TB, top of the board with a 37.7. Reese, 38.0. Flaw, 38.0 as well. Only 8 thousandths of a second separate Flaw and Reese. And Beatnik is currently sitting in 4th with a 38.4. Let's see, next drivers to come up, we have Stenner in the Williams. Let's see what he's capable of. Looks like it's going to be in the 40s. Yep, just 2 milliseconds clear behind Jordan for his time. Let's see, next driver up, we have Jack. We have Jack there. Wavy is, yep, so Jack will be the next one. Then we have Wavy. And then we have some more drivers going to be setting some more laps. We're going to slow down. Right at this triangle. Ooh, Lord, that's close. I think that was either Leighton or Jordan. But it was an Aston, we do admit that. But Jack did manage to get through, and TB increases his time. 37.165, and Jack goes for fastest with a 38.3. Here comes Red Fire. Let's see what time he's got as he comes across the line. And it is 6th fastest with a 38.6. A very strong lap by him. Looks like that was Aston in trouble. That's Leighton in trouble. So Leighton's going to have to redo his lap. And Wavy, fortunately slowest right now, 41.5, but I think he had to abandon somewhere, so he's going to have to try again. So anyway, so as Wavy is restarting his lap, Leighton gonna have to loop around and try again for a new lap. But at this moment, right now, the drivers are getting some lap times in. Leighton, he's gonna have to restart, get a new lap in. Blonde, DeChiller, Lewis Piper, and Sam have yet to come out and get started on their laps. Now Luke is just sitting in the pits, just chillaxing. Like I said, he has a quali band that he's got to serve. So right now, as it sits, so like I said, Luke is going to be starting in the 19th, is going to be starting in the 20th position. And Tadpole will be in 19th because Scyther, the second Mercedes, has shown up. And I think I see why, because the rain has gone. So I think these guys that have yet to come out, they're waiting to see maybe will the dry tires come into play. Wavy across the line, and it's only a 10th fastest, 39.4. That puts them 7/10 clear of Jordan in the Aston, and close to a second clear as the Chiller's out on the track. And had a little hiccup for his... Well, he is on an outlap, so he had a little hiccup, but anyway, Scyther is in, and Luke has called it, so like I said, Tadpole and Luke will be the back row in this race. And looks like some of the drivers are might come out on the dry tires, because we do see some of the laps changing. Because we just saw Beatnik and Leighton decide to thinking maybe it's dry enough for the dry tires to come out. We'll have to wait and see. There's under 7 minutes to go in this qualifying session. I mean, when it comes to F1 games, and well, the dry to wet conditions, I mean, it could be anything. It could be like, you never know, to Cryptic goes fastest, 36.7. I mean, anything can happen. Like, one race, it'll go from wet to dry in the span of a lap, or it can go from or in one race where it had to happen, it went from dry to wet in half a lap. Or you can have moments like in one race last season where it took 13 laps for the track to be dry enough for dries. And by then, everyone was still on the inters, and they couldn't, and yeah. Reese just goes fastest now, half a second clear of Cryptic, and almost a full second ahead of TB. Meanwhile, Lewis Piper working his way down. Lewis Piper in the Alpine is confirmed to... I believe he is confirmed to Alpine next season. Nope, he's confirmed to McLaren next season. One win to his credit in Monza. And here he comes across the line at his third fastest, 36.7. So the Alpine showing some strength in the wet conditions. But by looks of it at this moment, looks like no one has officially gone in for a lap yet. Oh, the Chiller abandoned his. Zakaria has been booted out, so we gotta get him back. There we go. So I'm thinking the Chiller must have abandoned his lap because maybe the track's dry enough, but I don't know. Not many people are gambling for it. As Jordan is going faster, he is about 0.4 faster in Sector 2. Looks like he might overtake. Nope, he's all good. Jack has come back. Yeah, I think these guys have decided, yeah, I think maybe dries is the way to go, maybe. Some of these drivers are sticking around for it. Red Fire's still out on the track, but I'm thinking he is probably going to go in and maybe switch to the dry tire conditions, because there's 3.5 minutes to go. So if the track is dry enough for the dry tires, if Red Fire finishes his lap, he will not get a dry tire lap. He is bailed onto the pits. Now, who is the one, the brave, going out on... Nope, it's Wavy that's out, going out first. But he is still on the inters. So Wavy is committed to the drives as he goes for a slide. And we got some cars coming out. We have Jack in the AlphaTauri coming out on the Inters. We have a Ferrari coming out as well. That's Cryptic. Cryptic coming out also on Inters. So I think they've decided track is not dry enough for the dry tires to come into play. As more guys are coming out. Jordan's coming out now. Jordan's coming out. Scyther's actually gambling. Same with DeChiller. DeChiller's taking a chance. Same with Blonde. More of these guys are coming out. Beatnik's out on the Inters. Red Fire Inters. Flaw Inters. TB's coming out on the softs. This is going to be interesting. We got mixtures everywhere. So take a look here. Scyther, DeChiller, Blonde, Stenner, Jacob, and TB all taking a gamble on the sauce as Sam Steed has crashed. So Sam Steed, unfortunately, does not get a lap set. TV is off to stay out of the way of these guys. Now, we'll have to wait and see what will happen. If the track is dry enough, do you think TB and them can get, or these guys can get a shot? I mean, it will be a very unique grid to say the least. As Jacob moves over for the Chiller, and we're starting off the last laps for some of these drivers. And well, that's not good. That's not good for Jordan. Jordan was going to be kicking off his run, but unfortunately met the Mercedes of Beatnik. So that means Jordan is possibly going to have his lap compromised. Let's see if these guys can make it in time. Scyther. Let's see, can Scyther make it in time? 6, 5, 4. Oh boy. Ooh. Scyther just makes it in the nick of time, but Wavy sets the identical lap to TB on those Inters. Now this is not going to be good because there's a Red Fire ahead. Let's see who's next. Who's next across? It's an AlphaTauri. I believe that's Jack. Yes, it is. Jack comes across the line and is second fastest, 36.5. Next up is going to be Cryptic. Ooh, well high in there, 1.3 seconds. This is going to put him into the 35s. Could see a 34 maybe. Anyways, here comes Cryptic across the line. Almost a 35 flat. That Stenner spun out. Here comes Zakaria. 5th fastest for him. Here comes Scyther. No, Beatnik bailed to the... No, that's... Now Beatnik got 10th fastest. Here comes the Chiller. More cars filing in. Flaw in there. Reese gets in there. Here comes the Chiller. And his 3rd fastest. Jacob 4th. Here comes TB. And it's only 6th. Red Fire 11th. Lewis Piper 4th. Scyther 3rd. So TB has to start 9th for the sprint. And I think TB, as you can see from the onboard, he's right up with Red Fire. Could it be possible Red Fire maybe in TB's mind, did Red Fire hinder his lap? apparently TB said that he got hit on his lap. So, Reese on top, Cryptic second, Scyther's third, Lewis Piper 4, Blonde 5, DeChiller 6, Jacob 7, Flaw 8, TB 9, Jack 10. Then it's Zakaria, Wavy, Redfire, Beatnik, Jordan, Stenner, Layton, Sam, Tadpole, and Luke. That'll bring up the rear. Alright, so here we go for the sprint. So here we go for the sprint as we get going. Now, probably everybody is going to be starting off on the... Yep, everyone is going to be on the mediums to kick things off. Let's see how this works as we get ready for the sprint. Now, this is the second sprint of 3 on the RPL calendar. We have just one more left in the season as the 5 lights come on to start the second sprint. As lights out and away we go. Reese doesn't get off the line! Reese doesn't move! Reese is stalled out! Reese can't move! Oh no! And that's it! That's the end of Reese! Oh my god! That I did not expect. Reese did not get off the line, and that ends his sprint. Yeah. Reese just said I couldn't go? Yeah, he didn't move. So Cryptic jumps off into the lead. Scyther right behind him in second. Then we have the Alpine pair of Flaw and Piper, 3rd and 4th. Blonde is sitting up in the 5th, and TB trying to challenge Blonde to go up in the 5th place. The Chiller is up in the 7th, and Jacob inherits the final points position in the sprint. Here we go, into 130R. Woo, Lord, that was tight. But Blonde stays in control. TB bails out. As we head off and cross the first lap, it looks like we had trouble in 130R. Who's that around? We got Wavy, we got Stenner, there's Sam Steed, and Wavy just illegal pit entry there, and retires too. Anyway, so the top 8 right now, as Red Fire's gone spinning. Anyway, so here's what we got. So it is Cryptic, Scyther, Lewis Piper, Flaw, Blonde, TB, DeChiller, and Jacob making up the top 8. Rest of the grid, it's Jack, Zakaria, Luke, Jordan, Leighton, Redfire, Beatnik, Sam Stees, Stenner, and Tadpole. And TB trying to get past Blonde, but Blonde really shoving his way off in there. Just saying, nah, you ain't getting by me. TB tried on the outside, but Blonde stood his ground as we're on board. We're on board. There they are. They're fighting there. Oh boy. Blonde goes a little wide. TB off into 5th place. Apparently Reese said he got glitched. Apparently. So that's unfortunate for Reese. That's something he did not want at all. Unfortunately, that's going to hurt Red Bull right now. I mean, it is a sprint race, but I mean, things can happen. But at the moment, TB right now, 4 points to add to his lead over Reese. Meanwhile, the Alpine pair staying in tune with each other. They're sitting 3rd and 4th. This is the momentum Lewis Piper would like. He wouldn't mind having this in the main race. Lewis Piper, a couple of weeks ago, won Monza after TV and Reese had a battle that resulted in them causing a collision. Yeah, apparently Reese said he was glitched, so that's why he could not move. Super unfortunate. Reese is out and Wavy out as well. And anyways, Cryptic leading off, and it looks like Sam Stees crashed. That could be a safety car possibly, and yes it is. So Sam Steed crashes out of the hairpin. That is going to bunch the field back together. This is almost identical to the F2 sprint earlier. Well, with the safety car now in place. And looks like we're gonna have the field reset for the safety car. So, Cryptic is the leader of this Grand Prix, getting a good jump. And unfortunate for Reese to have a glitch kill his sprint. Scyther is sitting in 2nd. Lewis Piper is 3rd. Flaw is sitting in 4th. TB 5th. Blonde is in 6th. The Chiller 7th. And Jacob is in 8th. And the rest of the group, we have Luke in 9th. Jack 10. Zakaria 11. Jordan 4. Beatnik 13. Jordan in 12th. Beatnik 13. Stenner 14th. Redfire, Leighton, and Tadpole round out the grid. While we're under the safety car, I will be right back. Okay, we are back. So, as we're getting ready to go under green, I believe safety car will come in this lap, which means, looks like probably for the final 2 laps, we will have DRS come into play. Now, we'll have to just wait and see on what will happen here. Now, Cryptic, like I said, is the leader. Scyther's second. Now, Luke right now is up in the 9th place after starting dead last. He has a chance to get himself into the points, but at the moment, he's not close enough. He's not going to gain anything on Scyther right now. Because Scyther right now is going to gain 7 points on... He's going to gain 7 points on Luke. And safety car is in, so let's go on board with Scyther. As Cryptic warming the field up. Now, Reese, unfortunately, is going to lose quite a bit of ground. Because of the blitz that affected him. Now, let's see when Cryptic is going to take off. Goes now. Off and away we go for the restart of the Japanese sprint race. And Cryptic off and away gets a 0.3 of a second lead over Scyther as they head off into turn number 1. Nice pan shot as we move forward. And let's go on a TB as he looked like he was going to make a shot on Flaw to try to get himself into 4th place. Now, TB, if I was him, I would probably take things easy for this sprint because his main rival Reese unfortunately suffered a glitch that got him disqualified, so he doesn't have to worry. His next closest rival to worry, Luke, is sitting in 1 point. So things is going to be going here as he's sending a shot on the hairpin to go for in the 4th, but just can't seem to fully execute the attack. As TB is just following Flaw. Flaw is just responding to TB's motions, and Flaw comes across, just slams the door on TB, and TB has to stay where he is in the 5th place spot. Luke has just cleared both the Alfa Romeos of Jacob and Chiller to put themselves into the 7th place spot. Now that's 2 points that he will gain on Reese, but unfortunately he is losing 2 points to TB and losing 5 points to Scyther. Meanwhile, TB back at it. This time going on the outside, gets sent wide. He saw a chance to risk it, but I guess this didn't work. And it looks like Beatnik has gone for a spin. That's pretty much all but a chunk of Sector 1 and a tiny bit of Sector 2. Just got a yellow flag for reasons unknown because of Beatnik's spin. But anyways, the Alpine pair still staying ahead of TB at this moment. TB is going to have to be careful and not take any unnecessary risks. In the background, there's Luke on his teammate of Blonde, and Blonde lets him by, and up into 6 goes Luke. For back, we just saw some fights here. We had Stenner being chased by Redfire and Zakaria for the 11th place position. Jack, by the way, catching Jacob for the 9th place position. Now, this is not for points, but it's nice to see some fighting between the drivers in the midfield. DRS, enable. TB trying to get past, wants to get past Flaw, but Flaw just refuses. Nope, he's got it. There goes TB on the inside. And gets by. Flaw off. Flaw off the circuit. But TB up in the 4th. Here comes Lewis Piper. Now Lewis Piper is now going to be threatened by TV right now. Scyther looking to try to challenge Cryptic for the lead as Leighton has crashed in turn number 2. Board with the Mercedes driver. Now Scyther had a strange season to say the least. Was Mercedes for a few rounds. Then Red Bull for a few rounds. Then AlphaTauri for a couple rounds. Now back in Mercedes. And this is all before he joins Ferrari next season. As Luke clears Flaw to get up into 5th place as we enter the final lap of this race. Here we go. We're gonna have a fight in the turn 1 between Scyther and Cryptic. Cryptic leaves the door open for Scyther. Cryptic goes wide. Scyther up off the curb, bounces off the curb, sends Cryptic. Scyther off the curb bumps Cryptic, sends him wide, but Scyther does take the lead in the sprint. Oh goodness, what a moment there. Flaw, by the way, still sitting in the 6th place spot. Jacob and DeChiller switch places, so Jacob is in the points for the sprint. And here we go. These cars are just filing into place. As cars cycle on together, Luke trying to put some pressure on TB to have him make a mistake. There we go. I don't think Luke is going to get close to try to go unless he decides to go for a wild man shot in the last chicane. Looks like he's not going to do that, but anyways, comes out of the final corner to win the sprint, back in winning form. Scyther claims victory in the sprint, and Cryptic will take 2nd, Lewis Piper 3rd, TB 4, Luke 5, and Flaw will be 6, Blonde 7, and Jacob will take the final point. But TB so close, couldn't get past Piper to get in the 3rd. That's a tenth behind. There it is. So Scyther wins the sprint. Cryptic 2nd, Lewis Piper 3rd, TB 4, Luke 5, Flaw 6, Blonde 7, and Jacob will get the final point. Anyways, here we go. It is now time for the main race as the lights come on to start this. And it's lights out and away we go. And oh boy. And Reese's bad luck is hit again. And Cryptic now gets ahead of Cycler into turn number 1. There comes Luke ahead of TV as they head off into the S's. It is tight there, but TV just nicks ahead of Luke. Unfortunately, Reese, like I said, Reese's day just went from bad to worse. He just got a drive-through for jumping the start. My God, that is super unfortunate for Reese. Everyone is just filing into place now, and we have some slight fights towards the end, towards the back of the field, as Reese unfortunately has a drive-through penalty to serve, so unfortunately he's gonna have to figure this out. And it looks like Blonde had some issues. He just lost quite a few positions. Beatnik is challenging Jack. It's for the 9th place position. See if Beatnik has the capability to get past Jack as he can get himself in there. And it looks like TB just overtook side thirds. Now Ferrari 1-2 in the Casio triangle. So it is a Ferrari 1-2 to lead off lap number 1. It is Cryptic, TB, Luke, Scyther, Luke, Lewis Piper, Flaw, the Chiller, Jacob, Jack, and Beatnik making up the top 10. Meanwhile, and Luke, I guess Luke and Scyther had a collision because they both came out horrible. They were both battling for the 3rd place position. Scyther falls to 12th, and Luke, well, didn't lose much. He's fallen to 6th. Trying to catch to see what happened between the two. We just caught to Luke just ghosted and going slow in the grass in turn number 1. Not sure what happened between those two. Anyways, there goes the Chiller. Ooh, got a little too close with Flaw. And crossover now by the Chiller against Flaw. So we see it on board from Luke. And the Chiller clears into 4th place. And Leighton crashes again in turn number 2. But no safety car this time. So Leighton, second driver out in the sprint, and the first guy out in the main race. Well, that's the end of Leighton's day, to say the least. TB and Cryptic switch positions, so TB has the lead now, but here comes Luke down on the Chiller and gets ahead up into 5th place. Reese did wind up serving his drive-through. He is currently in the 18th position. Wavy, I believe, he did have the pit. Yep, he did. So I think he did pit. Yes, he did. So that's all that for that. Anyway, so that is that there. As we move on, we have Lewis Piper. So on board with Lewis Piper, hunting Cryptic down. This is for 2nd place between these two. Head off. So trouble hits Red Bull for now. Reese got glitched and DQ'd in the sprint. Had a drive-through for the main race. Luke involved in an incident with Scyther. Beatnik had some issues in the sprint. Is just hanging on in the top 10 in the main. TB had some issues with the Alpines. And Cryptic had an issue with Scyther in the sprint. So pretty much everybody in the big 3 has had an issue so far car in this race. Meanwhile, Cryptic loses second to Lewis Piper. Lewis Piper up in the second place. Let's take a look at the tires everybody is on. So let's see, we have Reese, Sakaria, Jordan, Stenner, Beatnik, the Chiller, and TB all opting for the medium tires. Everybody else is on the hard compound tire, and Luke is already in the penalty club. A track limit penalty already for Luke. Here comes Flaw on the inside against Cryptic. Contact between the two. But Cryptic trying to hold his own, but just can't seem to get done. Flaw is up in the third. And here comes Luke to go for fourth. And contact, there goes Cryptic off. Contact between Luke and Cryptic. Cryptic goes flying off the track, goes off the circuit. And Cryptic now plummets to the back of the field. Oh my goodness. I did say that each member of the Big Three had an issue or two, and Cryptic adds on to that. Contact with Flaw, but they recovered and Flaw got ahead, and then contact of Luke sends Cryptic off into the grass and spoon. Luke chasing Flaw down. This is for the third place spot. Here we go. Luke trying to get in tune, but just can't seem to get close. Can't seem to get close at this moment. Wow, Beatnik, by the way. Switches positions with Scyther. Scyther up in the 7th. Beatnik is in 8th. Well, now Scyther is looking to chase down Jacob. This is for the 6th place spot. Scyther, it's good to see him. Good to see him back in strong form. I mean, I will admit, it's unfortunate we had to miss him. We missed him for a while in the top car. Luke actually just got past Flaw for third just before 130R. That was quite brave on Luke's part. And TB continues to set fastest laps as Luke goes down the inside against Lewis Piper and jumps up into second place. Meanwhile, Beatnik's trying to send a shot against Jacob. Jacob closes the door, and Jacob stays in the 7th place. Stays in 7th, but had to lose 6th, but lost 6 to Scyther. Now Scyther, next up on his people to track down is the Chiller. The Chiller hanging strong, just taking it easy, sitting in the 5th place spot. Another one of the medium tire runners, so some of the drivers are opting for different strategies. Because we had Reese and Luke, they're on an alternate strategy. Someone's gone off. That's Stenner. Stenner's gone off. Yeah, Stenner has gone off in turn number 7. I wonder if Flaw and Piper will be switching positions, because Flaw is gaining some ground on his teammate, while Flaw is not keeping tabs with Luke. So I'm thinking maybe the Alpines will switch positions. I would not be surprised if they do, and I think maybe it is. Yep, there goes Flaw on the inside against his teammate. I believe they did switch. Yes, it did. So Flaw up into 3rd, as Scyther cleared the Chiller to take 5th. Meanwhile, Jack chasing
Jack is chasing Jacob while his teammate, Blonde, is chasing Red Fire. It looks like the Alpines have just switched back. The Alpines have switched back, and I think, given how far Flaw has gone, I think he made a mistake somewhere in those S's. I think he made a mistake somewhere. I think he made a mistake in the S's. That's why Piper took the third place position back. And Flaw fell to over a second behind. Flaw fell a second behind Piper. So I think Flaw must have had a problem. Now let's go further back. Let's go further back for once this time. We have the Haas Zakaria chasing down the Aston Martin of Jordan. These two have had history in the past across, well, quite a lot in RPL. As Jack clears Jacob into the triangle. Unfortunately, Zakaria not close enough, but there's his teammate, there's his academy teammate Cryptic right behind. So Cryptic is looking to try to regain some ground that he lost. Chiller just lost 6th place to Beatnik, and now Jacob's in the penalty club for exceeding track limits too much in turn number 1. So Jacob, track limit penalty in turn 1. Luke, track limit penalty in turn 8. So as the race continues on, not much action between the front pair of Luke and TB. TB 6.7 seconds separate the two, and TB seems to be gaining a little ground, gaining a bit of a gap on Luke as these guys move forward and continue on. Let's go with Blonde. Blonde chasing Red Fire down. This is for the final points position right now. Meanwhile, further back, Cryptic chasing down Jordan for the 13th position. And here we go. So Blonde trying to chase Red Fire. This is going to be, like I said, this is going to be for the 10th place spot as Flaw and Loose Piper switch again. And Blonde makes easy work of Red Fire to get up into the points. Let's hope Flaw doesn't make a mistake again in the S's like he did the last time the Alpine switched. Actually, it looks like it's better this time. Better and cleaner this time, so Flaw does maintain and keep his third place right now. Meanwhile, further back, Cryptic is chasing down Tadpole. This is for the 12th place position. Now we do not see anybody. Now, pretty soon, the pit window will be opening within the next few laps for the medium tire drivers. It's gonna bear in mind. The question is when will the medium tire runners go in and take a chance on their go in and pit for their mediums for the softs? Now, at the moment with TB, if he winds up pitting under the green flag conditions, he will come out in the 15th place with between Zakaria and Sam Steed. That is as of right now. But I'd say the chance of them pitting is going to be a little bit later on. I'd say starting maybe on lap 12 or 13 is where we'll see the medium tire drivers come in. Anywho, on board with Jack. He is in 8th place right now. This driver has had quite a few moments in his career. Oh, we got trouble. that is in the Dunlop turn. That is Red Fire who's gone for a spin. Red Fire was in the 11th position. Unfortunately, now down into 14th. Tadpole goes into 11th, but is being pressured by Cryptic, who is on a recovery run after getting bumped and sent off by Luke earlier in this race. Cryptic is looking to regain some lost ground that he had from that incident. He's on top of Tadpole to try to go for it. It looks like Wavy has crashed. That is in the S's. Will that trigger safety car? It does. And that is going to help some of the drivers that are in that haven't pitted yet. Flaw, Piper, they're in. Scyther, I think, is in. Oh, Beatnik's in too. Oh, we got trouble. Looks like we got glitches. Oh, Beatnik is in. Yeah, so we've had some glitch moments there for that pit, because Beatnik was apparently on the track for weird reason. But anyways, well, everybody has come in except for some of the front guys that have not pitted yet. So Sam, Steve, Blonde, Jacob, Scyther, Luke, TB, they have not pitted yet. They will probably be coming in later. Will be coming in on this lap. We'll just see what happens here. But anyways, so once these guys are pitting, we'll have to wait and see on where these drivers are going to be once everyone comes in for their stop. We know for sure TB is going to come in, get the hard compound tires. Luke is going to, I believe Luke will come in, get off those hards onto the mediums, which means he will be quicker than TB is. Scyther, I believe, will come in. Yep, Scyther is in. There's Jacob and Blonde. I believe those guys will come in too. Actually, Jacob has opted to stay out. Jacob has opted to stay out. And will jump into the lead. Let's see what happens here. Here we go. So with the grid reset, so it is going to be So it's Jacob leading, TB second, Luke third, Scyther is 4, Flaw 5, Sam Steeds in 6, Loose Piper 7, Beatnik 8, Blonde 9, and the Chiller is in 10. Rest of the grid, it's Jack in 11th, Redfire 12. Tadpole 13, Cryptic 14, Jordan 15, Zakaria 16, Reese is in 17th, and Stenner will bring up the rear. See some lag spikes here. But, I mean, that's gonna be common and happening. So, let's have a recap on what has happened so far in this event. So we had a sprint race earlier. It resulted in TB having... So, yeah, so Reese unfortunately had a glitch and got disqualified from the sprint, which then in turn had him jump the start in the main race, and he had to serve a drive-through for that. We got a last lap clash between Scyther and Cryptic. Cryptic right now, by the way, the reason he's in 14th was after a collision with Luke. That had him sent to the grass. Anyways, safety car I believe should be coming in very shortly. Yep, safety car is in. Let's see what happens. Let's go on board with TB. See how he will react to Jacob on the restart. These two former teammates, and Jacob took off immediately before the triangle, and we're back off and away for this Japanese Grand Prix. We're off and away, and TB is trying to catch Jacob down to get himself in, to get his lead back. And here he goes down the inside, and he does. Jacob lets TB through. Up into the lead goes TB. There comes Luke right behind. I wonder with Jacob, he hasn't pitted yet, so that means could Jacob slow Luke down and be a hindrance? Looks like he is trying to. Ooh, a little close between the two. A little close there, but Luke does get the lead. Does get ahead, and Scyther shoves his way in and gets past Jacob in the third, but Flaw says, nope, I'm coming in now. Flaw up into third, Lewis Piper up in the fourth, Scyther falls to fifth, Jacob plummets to sixth. Let's see, here comes Scyther now. They're trying to put some pressure on Lewis Piper to get into the fourth place spot. Now Luke does have that 3-second penalty, but he's actually gaining on TV because he is on those newer tires. This thing should be interesting here, by the way, as Sam Steed getting hung out to dry, having to deal with Blonde and Beatnik getting by him. And up into those places they go. Jack is getting past the Chiller up into 10th place. And we have a bunch of randoms joining, which is causing a massive problem, as people joining are causing more lag spikes. We have trouble. There goes Tadpole. Tadpole off into the wall. And that is going to be a VSC. Unfortunately, with the VSC active, that means Lewis Scyther, who got past Lewis Piper, just as the VSC rang, that means Scyther had to get the place back. Now we're only on lap 15 of 27. Anything is possible. And we are back underway. We're back underway. DRS is enabled. Let's see, here's Scyther. Can he get close to Lewis Piper to warrant an attack to go for fifth? Go to fourth. Yes, looks like no at this moment. Cryptic, by the way, up into 12th place now. He's got a few more cars to get by in order to get himself back into the points right now. Well, a little further back, we got Beatnik trying to chase Blonde down. Blonde, by the way, trying to chase Jacob down. Fastest lap of the event is Lewis Piper. Is the fastest of this group. Meanwhile, Reese dealing with the Chiller. This is for the 13th spot. And switchback by the Chiller gets back past Reese, and Reese is down in the 14th. Now, this is a race that Reese would like to forget right now. Go fight for the lead now. We have Luke chasing TB down. Here we go. DRS active. Luke's fastest lap. Here he goes on the inside to get past TB. TB just tries to do a little fight, but just couldn't get it done. Luke is in the lead now. TB down to second place. And Jacob somehow got past Blonde to get into 6th. Scyther still chasing Blonde down. Scyther still chasing Piper down to get himself into the 4th place position. Beatnik is now chasing Blonde. Blonde still trying to get past Jake. Wants to get past Jacob. Had it, but then Jacob retook it. We're on board with Beatnik now. It's the end of the hairpin. This fight just keeps going here as Reese, by the way, battling Sam Steed now. This is for the 12th place spot. Here we go. Reese, despite the lag spike, gets past. Now Cryptic chasing Red Fire down. Cryptic is chasing Red Fire down to get himself back into the points as TB. And whoop, we got an issue here. Looks like Jacob just lost multiple spots to Blonde and the AlphaTauri's. Jack is having lag issues. There's Red Fire out of nowhere, and he goes off wide. No contact. No, there goes that's a spin by Red Fire. I don't even know what the heck happened there. We just saw Red Fire go wide. There was no contact between Jacob and Red Fire, so Red Fire, I guess, sent it in a little too hard and went wide. Just not sure what happened after that. Meanwhile, back towards the front, Scyther, now ever more closer to Lewis Piper. Now, can he finally get past? It's going to be nuts. Can he finally get past him? I don't know if he does. Because Scyther just had Lewis Piper be a thorn in his side for many, many laps in this race, before and after the safety car. Scyther just trying to chase it down. Wow, TB still within range against there. It looks like Jacob has gone off. Yes, he has in the triangle. That's unfortunate for Jacob. And he's off into the pits to get off those hard tires. He was on for almost 18 laps. Jacob, unfortunate, has to fall to the back of the field. Not sure what happened to him. He was right with right around where the Chill and Red Fire were. And that is just an unfortunate spin there. But anyways, TB hunting down, trying to hunt down. Here comes Scyther. Trying to get by. Looks like he's got a shot. And he finally gets past Lewis Piper up into 4th place. But Scyther, what a shot. Finally gets past Fly. Oh, Lewis Piper off into the gravel. Got loose in the spoon and just goes off into the gravel. And that's going to cost him quite a bit of time. But Lewis Piper still has an over 7-second lead over the car behind. And that is Beatnik right now. And Blonde is chasing them down. Blonde was in Mercedes for a few races. And he would love nothing more to give himself some good redeeming points. This time for the Alpha Tauri team. Blonde has had some moments so far this season. He's switched places before. Cryptic clearing Jack to get into 8th place. Cryptic is recovered into the points now. Now, Blonde, by the way, like I said, he had a crazy season to start off. He was in Alfa Romeo for the first half of the season. Switched to Mercedes, where he had some decent races, but was involved in the most infamous moment in RPL Season 8, where he got hit and intentionally wrecked out by Alex Fox under the safety car in Belgium. Now Blonde is now in the Alpha Tauri to finish off the season. Speaking of recoveries, look at Reese up into 9th place now. So Reese has rejoined back into the points after having to serve a drive-through for jumping a start in the main race. So Reese, I will admit, maybe his bad day is coming into light now. It would be nice to see if Reese can just gain some more positions, because him and TV are having one hell of a championship fight, but glitches have been screwing with Reese, to say the least. And hopefully, maybe Reese can recover a little more. Now let's go further back. We have Zakaria again trying to chase down Jordan. And just like last time when we were reviewing them, they were battling for the 13th spot. So far, no dice at this moment. But meanwhile, Reese is in DRS range against Cryptic. Oh, we got trouble. Sam Steeds crashed! And so is Jordan! And that's a safety car! Now this is gonna change things. Let's see what these drivers are gonna do. Lucas opted to go in. Same with TB. Flaw chooses to stay out. Alpine's opted to stay out. Scyther's in, Beatnik's in, Blonde's in, Cryptic's in, Reese is coming in, Jackson. Alpine's opted to stay out. Well, this is going to be interesting. Now, these two are on the medium tires. Luke was on the mediums as well. Huh. This is going to be really weird to finish off this race. I mean, a lot of these guys have opted for the soft tires. like I said, Flaw and Piper have opted to stay out. This is gonna be interesting. So we'll have to wait and see on what the Alpine is gonna be doing. So this is gonna be an interesting restart. So when this field, let's wait and see on what's gonna happen here. So let's reset this field. So we have a Flaw as the leader, Piper in second, Luke third, TB 4, Scyther is in fifth, Beatnik 6, Blonde 7, Cryptic 8, Reese 9, and Jack is in the 10th place. So this is going to be interesting. So let's take a look at everybody's tires. As you can see, everyone has opted for the medium tire, has opted for the small soft tires, except for the Alpines. They are stayed out on the mediums as they were. So we'll have to wait and see on what's going to happen here between these drivers. Now, I think safety car is not going to be going in. Oh, it is going in. In control of the field. Let's see when Flaw's gonna go. So far for the restarts, everyone took off at the triangle. A couple took off at the triangle. One, Jacob went off there, but here we go. We're off and away for the last few laps of the Japanese Grand Prix. We're off and away as they head into turn number 1. Here comes Luke. Here comes Luke. Here comes TB. The soft tire drivers are in pursuit. Now, some of these drivers are going to have to be careful. Let's go on board with Luke. Let's see how he's going to. Let's see if he's going to blink first. He is. Contact. Oh boy. TB off into the gravel. And TB off and spun into the bottom. Luke went for an attack on Lewis. There was contact which got Luke loose and it collected TB and he got sent off. That is super unfortunate, but now that puts Reese into the 8th place spot, and that's going to put TB now out of the points. And Lucas crashed! Lucas crashed! Oh my God! Oh my God, that is not good. That was so not good. Well, that means, oh my goodness, that means, wow. That means Luke's not going to gain any ground. And Reese is in the middle of both Ferraris in 7th right now. I wonder if Beatnik's going to try to catch a flaw to try to steal a win here. There comes Scyther now on the attack against Lewis Piper. Lewis Piper keeps it firm and stays ahead. TB catching Reese now. These two fighting for the championship right now. God, no, we got trouble. That's Stenner off in turn number 8. My goodness, here we go. Scyther, outside shot. Cryptic shoots against Blonde. Blonde sent wide, still on the track though. And Scyther clears Lewis Piper to 4th place. Cryptic is now chasing him now. Well, Beatnik over a second back and just can't catch him. He can't catch Flaw. Is Alpine looking to steal win number 2? Now trying to hunt. There's also TV as well, chasing Reese down. Reese hunting Cryptic. My goodness, this is just freaking mental. Well, here we go. The drivers flying in and about. On with Reese. He's trying to get Cryptic, but there's TV knocking on his door. But Cryptic held up by Lewis Piper. Whoa, boy, Reese saw 3. Saw 3 wide. Oh, contact. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Oh, boy. Lewis Piper got pressured by Cryptic on the outside. Cryptic backed out. Reese nowhere to go. And contact again. Oh, contact. Oh, boy. Lewis Piper losing grip. My God. My goodness, there's a lot of bumping and banging, to say the least. And here comes Reese on the attack against Cryptic. Reese goes wide. Cryptic trying to retake. And off we go. Cryptic up in the 4th. Reese is in 5th. TB thinking, should I take a shot for 6th? Should I take the shot? Maybe not. Ooh, don't want to take the risk. Don't do anything too crazy. And he go into the triangle to start out the final lap. Oh, TB loses grip, has to cut. And into the penalty cup he goes and loses some ground. Scyther gets the fastest lap, and the Mercedes pair has hunted down Flaw. Can Beatnik pull the unthinkable? Can Beatnik pull the unthinkable? TB, because got loose, which means he got a 3-second track limit penalty, which means unfortunately, hate to say it, TB is going to be eliminated out of the points. Scyther switching with Beatnik. Scyther in pursuit of Flaw. Cryptic chasing Reese down. Onto the outside. A brawl for 4th. A brawl for the lead. Oh, here we go. This is gonna get good. Can Scyther get it done? He's got one shot to get it done. And no, Reese is spun! And Flaw, just like Lewis Piper, steals the win. Beatnik gets 2nd, Scyther 3rd. It's a dog pile race for the back. Oh my goodness me. What a wild run. But Cryptic 4, Blonde, Jack 5, Blonde 6, Loose Piper 7, Zakaria 8, Redfire 9, and wow, TB with that penalty drops to 10th. Good God. But Flaw pulled it off. Scyther just couldn't get it done. And Flaw now joins the club. He joins Luke, Scyther, TB, Reese, all these guys. FRT Flaw is now the 30th different RPL F1 winner. Holy hell. Flaw pulls out a win. Beatnik gets second. Scyther third. And we did see, just like before, just like we saw a couple weeks ago, Beatnik got second. Scyther decided to move off to let Beatnik get the second place spot. But there it is. Flaw the winner. Beatnik second. Scyther third. Cryptic 4, Jack 5, Blonde 6, Loose Piper 7, Zakaria 8, Redfire 9, and okay, but yeah, there it is. So that's the results of the sprint. Scyther winning, Cryptic second, Lewis Piper third, TB 4, Luke 5, Flaw 6, Blonde 7, and Jacob 8. And that is the group there. Flaw wins, Beatnik second, Scyther third, Cryptic at 4, Jack 5, Blonde 6, Lewis Piper 7, Zakaria 8, Redfire 9, and TB in 10th. And that is going to conclude the stream for today. And here we go. So, this is what we got. So this is what we got for next week. So next week for round 8, for the Tier 2 and F2. Tier 2 will be racing in Singapore for round 8 of the season. For round 8 of F2, they will be racing around the Temple of Speed, that is Monza, and then for F1, we'll be racing around Circuit de Americas in Texas. Now, one thing I need to point out here. So, Monza for F2. Unfortunately, I will not be available to stream. I have a work event going on that's going to be happening during the time. So I will not be around for the F2 race, but I will be there for F1 next week. So we'll be seeing you then. Hopefully we'll find a streamer for F2. So from RPL Streams, this is Ty9 Will saying good night. Have a good one.